which we like to do on this show. Where's your head at with United? I want to ask you this question, really. What do you think the decision is going to be in the next 24 to 48 hours regarding Ten Hag after that? And what's your gut telling you right now?
My gut is telling me that he's going to stay. I don't think they're going to sack him based off that. It's unfortunate, in my opinion, but it is what it is. I don't think today I honestly, the fact that today you could class as a good performance for United, it shows how bad the standards have been this season. That's how bad it was today. I've seen games where I've said that was a waste of my 90 minutes. Today, what actually epitomizes that was a waste of my 90 minutes because it didn't look like either team wanted to put the ball in the back of the net. Villa obviously looked like they were hungover from Wednesday, beating Bayern Munich, so they didn't look at their best. And for us, defensively, we were amazing. I'm not going to question that. Johnny Evans pulled back the years. Harry Maguire was good in the first 45 minutes. Dalo with the game-saving block. But I never really questioned Ten Hag sometimes when Ten Hag can put a mid-block and a mid-block/low block, we'll defend very well. We have the players to do that. The question is, I think Neji mentioned the attack. We didn't, other than Marcus Rashford going at Villa and having a couple of shots, we did not look like we were going to score the goal. And Terry mentioned like how the players don't look well drilled. And this is why I don't, no matter what results Ten Hag gets right now, I want him gone. Our attackers look like they hate playing with each other. Højlund hates playing with Rashford. Højlund hates playing with Garnacho. Garnacho looks like he hates playing with Rashford. Xerxes came on the pitch, tried to do a flick with Anthony. Nothing happened. It's these guys they don't have any chemistry with each other. And yes, the quality of the attackers is not as high as we've been used to at Man United, but we have 5 goals in 7 games. That is less than a goal a game. I think it's like 0.75 or something like that. That is atrocious. Somehow, some way, we managed to have a worse start this year than last year. I don't even know how that's possible, but yet we managed to do it. He's managing to do the impossible once again. It's so bad. And the whole board was there today. Just put the guy out of his misery, put me out of my misery, put everyone else out of their misery. And I don't know what they want to do. Ruud van Nistelrooy looked like he was cussing them out like the 70th minute. They were yelling at each other. Yesterday, we had the leaks coming out from Mullock about Ineos hired Van Nistelrooy as a failsafe, which we all said during the summer, stuff like that. It's just a bunch of drama. I don't want to be a TMZ club right now. I'm tired of it. Just get him out. And then I don't know what they want to do with the stuff like that, but I don't think they're going to sack him because it was a decent result. It's
Can I ask a question just quickly? The United fans, you included, Terry. If, hypothetical, Ten Hag gets sacked, let's say Van Nistelrooy takes over, what would your honest no one team say predictions, what would you be happy with for this season, say an interim manager? What would you genuinely be happy with? Because I think there's still enough games to at least challenge for top 4, not make top 4, but challenge for top 4. Yeah. And do you think that's realistic given the fact we've got better players and people thinking about the system?
Yeah, no, I agree. I look at it this way. I don't mind it as an interim manager, but it has to be a head coach or a manager who has overlap and similarities to the person we're targeting for the long term. It would make no sense to, I don't know how Ruud's going to get us to play, but imagine Ruud sets us up playing one way, and then it turns out we're getting Tuchel in the summer. There needs to be continuity because you can still improve as a squad and as a team whilst changing head coaches. So as long as we get that element right, and there is overlap and there are similarities between the managers, then I'm quite happy with it. On what you were saying though, Griggs, it's just been revealed now by a couple of outlets that Ten Hag this evening is set for crisis talks with Manchester United. On top of that, it's also been said by a few updates from, I can't remember his name, David Ornstein. Yep. Firstly, he said that there's been no offer made to Inzaghi. Inzaghi can't speak English. That's not on the cards. He stated that, this is probably good news for Man United fans, that basically saying the Southgate thing doesn't look like it can happen. He wasn't even on the list in the summer type thing. And there was another update as well saying that all the stories that Man United can't afford to sack Ten Hag because the FFP is ridiculous is not the case as well. So interesting. I mean, that's why I think he might go, because Ornstein rarely, doesn't always get it right, but rarely mentions transfers, manager sackings, anything, unless there is an element of sort of like he's hearing noises, something might happen. So yeah, I'm hopeful because I just don't see it improving. And
I would say on Briggs's point as well about this whole like, say if they don't sack him, it's this game, the Villa game wasn't enough to sack him. That was what would give me worries about Ineos. Right now, I'm very calm with them in charge. I love the fact that all of them was there because it shows that they have intentions to run this club properly and they actually want to show their face and actually manage the team and manage the club to a point where we are getting back to the top. So I love the fact they were there. I actually like the signings that they made this summer. And it's one of those ones where it's like, please do not start letting my hope down by making decisions like, oh, because this game went okay, we're going to keep him. Because he won the FA Cup, we're going to keep him. Like this notion of isolated games being the reason why we keep or sack a manager. I hope that's not true. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it is, but I hope it's not true because then it shows me that you guys aren't competent at what you're doing. You've brought in people that are supposed to be the best in class or some of the best in their roles, but yet you can't make a simple decision for your club in terms of what direction you want to go in. I said this is one of the most important games for Man United on Twitter in like post Fergie, because I do genuinely believe this international break will set where we're going as a football club.
Can I ask you a question?
KJ, just quickly. This year, again, putting Man United first, forget Ten Hag, manager, whatever, put Manchester United first. I thought Man United to win stuff this season. I definitely still want a trophy.
Yeah.
If they sack him now, they have to have somebody in mind already. Like Terry's just said, because you have to think about the structure of the club and where you're going, it's no longer a case of we can just go get any manager that we've been doing before that has a different style of play and everything else. To find that, because it's going to be a lot more difficult than just saying, oh, these are available, pick one. To find someone that suits the ideology of where you want to take the club, etc., is going to take even more time. Now, have they had enough time to find that right person? Because the reality is, if they get rid of Ten Hag and they bring whoever that manager is in, and we still end up in the same situation, then it's going to be like, right, you need to get rid of him. But I don't want that no more.
No, I understand that, and I think that all the challenges towards Ineos, positive, negative, or indifferent, are fair because we have been run so poorly, well, for the last 18 years, 19 years, but especially since Fergie retired. The reason my only sort of message to Man United fans is remain objective, don't show your bum, and don't keep your powder dry when it comes to the owners, because we don't know. They are not going to tell them, even the media, that, because it would be stupid to. We have a short list of managers we've been working on. Like Barada was part of a group of people at City that would have a list of City have a potential replacements for Pep. They've had it for years, and they keep updating it on a regular basis. Every club should have that list, because you don't know. Maybe the manager does well, and his national team come in, and he says, "You know what, guys, I want to leave. I'm not going to renew my contract. It's a dream for me." If we don't have a list of replacements, whether we're doing bad or well, that would concern me. But I think as Man United fans, because it hasn't quite gone how we wanted, some are saying we're not proactive enough. But you don't know if we're not being proactive yet. You could be right, and we're not, and we're going to react, and we're going to panic. But I think we have to give it some time. We all now know it's obvious that keeping him has been a mistake. Again, unless you think what LB does, who's a City fan, who I thought was going to stick the knife in on Tuesday, but said his theory, and again, it holds water logically, is that, well, maybe they just wanted to genuinely give him a chance and back him. But this way around, you eradicate all support. So at least then we can all move on and say that didn't work. Where if he goes after the FA Cup, you literally have a split fan base, potentially a split dressing room before the new guys even started. And that's why sometimes in life you have to reverse before you go forward. And I think that as fans, we all just want to see progression day one. I understand it. I don't think you're wrong. But we are awful at this as football fans, at looking at the bigger picture at times. Everything can be very, very tunnel vision. And it doesn't mean that a lot of the concerns and problems don't hold water. I think that with the ownership and that element. So where Ten Hag's right today, this is a long-term project. But you've been here 3 years, and we should be able to pass the ball better in the attack, mate. It's not a long-term project to get this group of players to pass the ball better. The long-term project to make us champions of England, I agree with. But it's just, I think what's happened with this with Arteta, who, by the way, hasn't won the Premier or Champions League yet, because of how he struggled for a couple of years and how good they are now. I even think managers sort of use that as, well, it's just the same as Arteta. Yeah. It's going to be the same. It's not, is it? Most managers, again, Arteta's situation different as well because of the experience that he had as a manager. All different. It isn't the same scenario, but Alex, you had a question because then I want to go to the super chat. Go for it.
My question is I don't know how when you fire managers, it usually happens at the second half of the season, or it happens sporadically. I
It
don't
all
know.
it all depends, though. We've sacked LVG after winning a trophy. We sacked Jose in December, I believe. We sacked Ollie in November. So it just all depends on when the board. Well, that was under the Glazers as well. It was all dependent on, do they believe we'll get top 4 or not? And when they felt like we weren't going to get top 4, that's when they usually pull the trigger. But now we don't know.
Ollie went in like late October, early November. So we've done it early before. Jose went in the December.
That's my question. Usually, is that
LVG went at the end of the season.
Moyes went towards the end of the season. So it all depends.
Moyes went when he didn't qualify. When we got beat by Everton and we failed to qualify for the Champions League. This year says Ineos could have been waiting for the international break to sack Ten Hag to give Ruud a couple of weeks to implement some basics before match day. I think Ineos are trying to be strategic. I mean, all of these things are logical, which is why, oh my God, what a fluky goal for Tottenham. I have never seen anything as fluky as that in my life, but it might have just been disallowed for offside. Timo Werner heads it, and it like pinballs off 3 or 4 people and goes in.
Of course, it's Werner who gets the fluke.
VAR gives it, and then the linesman puts his flag up. But yeah, look, this is why I'm saying to Man United fans, please don't panic at this point. Ineos don't know what they do. We don't know what we don't know. Give it a little bit. Like, if Ruud comes in and we start looking really, really good, everyone's going to suddenly go, oh, I like what Ineos are doing, aren't they? And for me, I think it's a case of just keep your powder a little drier, potentially. Liverpool lost to Forest at home. Quick reminder. Yeah, they're a good team, Forest. Well drilled by Nuno. I'm so sick and tired of Chelsea fans calling Palmer, Nkunku, Enzo, and Jackson world class. That's Don. Liverpool, please destroy this Chelsea team so they know their place.
No one in the Chelsea fan base. I don't even think Don called him. Did Don call Nico Jackson world class? I don't even think he has made that claim whatsoever. Okay. It's just I'm just glad we're at this state now that we're back, that we rattle you so much that after a draw. You're so annoyed. You're so pleased that we drew that we're back. That's what I'm saying. We're back. It just feeds us. Please more. Please more. We love being hated. We love being hated. Please more.
We are regional haters.
Regional haters, bro.
I hear you. I'm sorry. You mean the same defense in his first season that got packed away from home, giving up 7-0, 6-0, couldn't win again. But Joshua, that's up until that 7-0 game. If you actually look at that season, we started off by losing our first 2 matches, and then up until that Liverpool match, we improved massively. And then, they're in again here, Liverpool. Brennan Johnson. Oh, it's 6 in 6 for Brennan Johnson. Oh, wow, 6 in 6 for Brennan Johnson. It's crazy. That man's on fire right now.
You know what's funny as well? I've actually always liked the kid. It just wasn't. I just didn't think maybe he's that quality or ready for Spurs. But hey, it's working.
But this is the whole point, right? Again, if we're being honest, does anybody hand on heart think Brennan Johnson's actually a better football player than Marcus Rashford or Garnacho? I don't think he is. No. But a well-drilled basic system.
That's up for debate. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I think
Do you know what I find with Man United fans? I think we all do. I think we're all guilty of it. We talk about how we don't get the manager doesn't implement the basics right, but then based on our personal feelings towards certain players, we either use it as an excuse for them or we ignore it. We did it in the Pogba. We'd all agree is superior technically to Bruno Fernandes, but if Bruno has stinkers, it's just his ability. Pogba would have a stinker, and it's the system and the training and the way we play. And I always sit there and just think, surely it's the same for both. Surely it has to be the same for both. But I do hear you. I think the Ineos team have proven they have a methodical way of making decisions. We often criticize the Glazers' knee-jerk reaction in the past. Relax, everyone. It's a great point.
Also, big up Baz. I haven't seen him in ages.
Yeah, I ain't seen Baz in a while. Terry, what do you think about Ten Hag saying the 4th clean sheet? I look at it this way, right? It's like I take out KJ's car for the day and I bring it back and the wing mirror's broke. It's all scratched. The bumper's all dented because I've been clipping posters to drive past them. I went into the back of someone. The car is messed up. But I go, parallel parked well, though. It's not going to matter because the car's still messed up and damaged. You know what I mean? It's one bit's good. The rest of it's awful. I'm happy Chelsea dropped points today, praying for their downfall of Chelsea so they can stop saying they have a better squad than the current top 3. In fairness, Don does say the squad he's pretty much better than everybody other than City. Don does say that. We have to be honest with that. I fully believe Ten Hag has predetermined subs. He does not care about the flow of the game, just subs whichever players he decides on before the game.
No, I don't think that's true. I do think he tries to change the game. It just doesn't work most of the time. Although today, it felt like a farewell tour today. I'm not going to lie. Man brought on Anthony instead of Ahmad. You know what I'm saying? Man brought on Lindelof out of nowhere. Like, man, barely playing football.
It was. But then, like, completely, like, sort of throws, like, Lissandro under the bus. And it's like, yeah, you're dropped. And he wasn't great in the last game. But, yeah, just completely, like, you're done out here. Auralus Uglies were reduced to fouls versus 10 men.